Hey guys, it's me, my face, and a wet head. This week's Happy Dance is brought to us by Night Shift Brewing. This is Santilli. And this stuff will hit you hard. Trust me. You only get one. 6% alcohol. Just like my bloodstream. If you're new here, my name is Andrea, and this is my channel about cross-stitching and cats and drinking and mental health and sometimes a little more drinking and opinions, sometimes scrapbooking, and anything else I think of. If you're a returning visitor, welcome back. There's Santilli in the fridge. It's a little unusual for me, but this week has been more of a haul week than it has been a stitching week, although I did manage to get some stitching done. Shocking. So let's jump in, shall we? The first thing that I worked on is the Roladex Mourning sampler. This is from Bendy Stitchy Designs. I'm doing it on 16 count Ren by Picture This Plus with very few of the called for colors, although I haven't posted the colors that I'm using because I am figuring out as I go. But once I do settle on something, I will let you know if you're interested. But I managed to finish, I got a lot of the Weeping Willow finished off. I had just stopped at a page end, so I got those finished, and I did a ton more on the gate. I had said last week that I was having trouble finding, a path so that you could just stitch and not have to pay too close attention. I found it, and I stitched this while watching a Ghost Adventures marathon last night, which was amazing. It was amazing. I've missed them. I missed those Saturday night marathons, but I was able to do this while I watched, and that to me is a sign of a great pattern because it's intuitive. And I like it. I don't think I need any other adjectives. I like it. The next thing that I worked on is CROWS Lullaby. This is, I believe, from Primitive Hare. And I am stitching it on mystery linen that I coffee tea dyed. You can't really tell that I've gotten much further. I finished the 5 for silver, 6 for gold, and started the S for 7. I don't know what to make of this pattern. It's just letters. This should stitch up so fast. Look at, there's nothing else going on in between these. There's nothing. I haven't even started the stuff that goes on the side. Why is this taking me so long? I don't know. I'm asking you. I did enjoy pulling it out, though. It had been a long time since I worked on it. I think, according to my pictures, it was 6 months or something. So it was nice to work on something that it wasn't a new start, but it was kind of new to me because I haven't been near it in so long. It is warm up here for no good reason. No good reason. I should have a drink. Drink if you're warm. The next thing that I worked on, just a wee little bit, is Prairie Schooler. This is Knock Knock. And I really just filled in a little more of this guy up here. I think I didn't have the little jack-o'-lantern done last time. This started out like gangbusters. And then I hit this top part. And again, it's almost like I can't find a path, and I find myself spending a lot of time deciding where to start, which is weird. I don't know. So I didn't get very much done on it, but what I did. Dude, I gotta tell you though, look at that. Look at the black 1/1. Look at it. It's like ink. I love it. This ain't right. The last thing I worked on, I don't know the actual name of this. It's the Linen and Threads 2020 something Friends Free Stitch Quaker. It's this. I had done just to about here. So what I finished was all of that, which is actually pretty impressive for me. I mean, you know, in my own opinion. I had stopped working on this because I ran out, or was starting to run out, of the threadworks that I had picked out to do this in. It took me a little while to get them. So when they came in, I like kind of put them in a bag with the project and said, okay, we can start again. And I didn't. And there it sat. So I broke out all new skeins and got moving again. I am very far behind. I believe this is March and I'm not done with it. I don't know if you've noticed, but it's the end of September. I'll get there. I'll get there. If anybody can put a bug in their ear and let them know that Pattern Keeper is where it's at, and if their patterns could get into Pattern Keeper, or maybe tell the Pattern Keeper people that Linen and Threads is where it's at, this would be a lot easier for me to work on. Just saying. And that is it. That's all the stitching I did in the past week. It had been my goal to work only on projects that I hadn't worked on in a while. It didn't work out that way. My plan had also been to put some more time into bringing home the tree because it's a gift. Just didn't work out that way. But I'm actually pretty pleased that I stitched four nights, because usually I just do one project per day kind of thing. Because I lose track. And sometimes it's as much a surprise to me at the end of the week when I pull out what I've worked on and I go, wow, you did do some things. You just, blocked it out or something. Can't block out my stitching. This is where my joy comes from. So I did get some haul, some in the mail, and some I actually went out into the world and purchased. I had real shoes on, people. I had real shoes on. I had pants and other things on too, but I mean the shoes. I had shoes on. My feet are so not used to having shoes on anymore. It's a little scary because I love my boots. I gotta get back into my boots. So where I went was our local Salvation Army, and I was just poking around, just on the off chance that maybe someday I could find one of those wonderful, crafty hauls that other people seem to find, patterns or threads or something. I don't usually find anything there, but I like to poke around. As I was walking by through the men's section, I always stop and look at the ties. I think it's just because I like the silk. I like to play with them. I used to sell ties a lot on eBay, and I used to sell them under the guise of like a bondage accessory kind of thing. They sold well. I was subtle. #subtle. But as I was looking at some of the ties, I noticed they're all silk. Like most of them. They're 100% silk. The patterns are nice. It's not it's not yardage. It's not a ton. But if you were going to do finishing, and you wanted a strip of fabric across the bottom of a frame or something, or you wanted to use like the point. So I got one for $1. So basically what I have is a little piece of silk for $1 that has some colors that I like and some patterns that I like. And I'm going to see if I can't use this in a little bit of finishing. And if it works out well, I may go back and grab some more. And if it doesn't work out well, I'm out $1. Oh well. Also at the Salvation Army, I was looking for frames. Just different shaped frames because, a lot of people design for standard frames, which is awesome. But I don't stitch things on normal stuff. My even weave is uneven. I do 1/1. So I was looking for some kind of odd shaped frames, and I found these. So I love the shape, and I love kind of the rustic crackle, they look old color. But also, aren't these just a little creepy? Like, especially this one is very Tim Burton-esque. I like it. So what I plan to do is actually just hang these up. And then when I have a piece that I want to frame, I think I will sacrifice this one and use it for a project. I think I'm just keeping this because it's Tim Burton. It's a creepy lighthouse. It makes me think of the St. Augustine one that the ghost hunters went to like 75 years ago. You know what I'm talking about. Don't act like you don't. 99 cents each. Could not go wrong. If anybody's wondering, this is from the Kennedy's Country Collection. It has an item number of 67734, if that means anything to anyone, if you're looking for them. The last of my haul, strap in. I got my fabric FLAIR order. My first fabric FLAIR order. I say my first because this is going to happen again. I already know that. I got myself confused. I placed the order on fabricflair.com. And there's nothing on the website that says where they are, which is fine. I mean, if they don't have a physical location like a store, it doesn't necessarily matter. Just sometimes it'd be nice to know where it's coming from. Is it coming from California or is it coming from the street? Well, it turns out it was coming from Massachusetts. Ware, Massachusetts, which is really where the map goes. This is where the dragons be. It's anything west of Worcester there's nothing out there. But apparently this is where fabric FLAIR ships from. I thought that was great. That's cool. They're local. That's awesome. The package came in it came early. I had an estimate of, I think I ordered it over a weekend. Like I ordered it on a Saturday and I received it on a Tuesday or a Wednesday, and it wasn't due to be here till Thursday, Friday. So I was thrilled. And it definitely came from Ware, but it came from Dove Stitch. So I looked up Dove Stitch, and they are in Ware, Massachusetts. It doesn't look like they're a storefront. It looks like they're just an online business, which is fine. But when you go to their site, which is dovestitch.com, they talk like they're fabric FLAIR. Like they say, our fabrics and this and that and the other thing. So I don't know. I don't know if they are just a distributor. I don't know if they are the actual fabric FLAIR people. It really doesn't matter. I just wanted to be clear. Because if I could have gone to Ware, that would be a nice little day trip. I would make my friend Cynthia go on with me. But to add to the confusion, they say that their store is open, or their business hours are Monday through Friday, 9 to 5 PST. I don't know if that's a typo or if they are actually out west somewhere, and this is, I don't know. I suppose it doesn't matter. I got my order and it's wonderful. I'm happy. But that was confusing. I'm easily confused. Drink if you're easily confused. You want to see what I got? I believe I got all fat quarters. I don't think I got any big pieces. But if you're not familiar with fabric FLAIR, I'm going to keep saying it very slowly, they do screen printing on their fabrics. So the backs are plain and they just print, the modeling and things like that. The things you look for in a hand-dyed, they just print it on the front, which I guess saves a ton of dye, and it doesn't make as much waste, and that makes people happy. Makes me happy. All right, so here's the thing I didn't notice. On some of these, they have the name of the pattern, and some they don't. So I will look them up after the fact and put them up on the screen This is the first one. I want to say this is something, maybe marble, maybe something. I don't know. But it's kind of just a nice mottled neutral. I want to say it's a little darker than what you're seeing here. I think my lighting is kind of overexposing it. But that would be a good Halloween something, or a good sampler something. This is like a mottled misty gray, which I also really like. Again, it's a little darker than what you're seeing there. Not even darker, it's just a little more, it has a little more contrast, I think, than what you're seeing. Hi, Dante. Dante's being a bad girl. Dante hasn't eaten her food today. Didn't eat her dinner last night either. She's eating her treats, though. No problem with that. This is like a murky, like, not like murky. Picture this plus murky. But it's kind of a swampy gray-green with brown, I want to say like edges. Because this edge here and this edge here is a little more brown. You may be able to see that. Oh, yeah, that's better. That shows up better there. And these are all 18 count Aida. I figured if I was going to just see how they were, 18 count was, I knew no matter what, if I end up over dyeing these into something else, I know 18 count I'm still going to like to stitch on. I was afraid if I got 40 count linen and had trouble stitching on it that I would never do anything with it. This one is also unmarked. I managed to get, I don't know. This is a little pinkier than I thought it was going to be. Let's see what happens if we get close up. You really can't tell. I would not have ordered a pink, so I think it probably translated as a little more beige online. I wonder if you fold it up, you see the modeling a little better. No. But I'll put the names of these up and you can definitely go check them out on their website. Wherever you happen to go. Fabric FLAIR, Dove Stitch. It's all good to me. This one is actually marked. And this I thought was interesting, the way they did it. This is 101 written words medley. So what they actually do is they print 4 different fabrics on one piece. So I'm thinking some of these, I'm not a huge fan of like the words in the background, but there are some like primitive Hare patterns that are meant to be done on fabric that has writing on it, and so they may look nice on something like that. Again, it's something I can cut it up any way I want to and get 4 different smalls out of it. And the last one, this is 103 Victorian Medley. So this has like the beige and that kind of murky green again. And then down here, they've got some patterns. And I have never really been one to stitch on any fabric that had a pattern other than just modeling on it. So I thought for the price, I would give it a shot. And that is it for my fabric haul. I am thinking that if I enjoy stitching on this, which I'm almost positive I'm going to, these are a good candidate for my CD Pumpkin in, is it CD Pumpkin in? Yes. The Praiseworthy stitches that I want to stitch, that I want to start for Halloween. I'm thinking that may be a good place to go because it is, it's not that it's completely inexpensive, but it definitely is less expensive than actual hand-dyed linen. And I feel a little better about it if it's ecologically better for the environment. I wish they went up to 20 count Ada. I think I'm probably going to email them and request that. They also don't do custom sizing, it appears, so we'll see. But yeah, I look forward to starting a whole bunch of things because I have fabric to start them on. Did you register to vote yet? Do it now. You can do it online. Go do it. I'll put up a link or something. Guys, you have the Googles. You have the Googles. You know how to find this stuff. I'm not going to say it doesn't matter who you vote for because it totally matters who you vote for. Oh God, does it matter? But whatever side of the aisle you are on, vote. Do it. It's too important this time around. It was too important the last time around, and we saw what happened. Let's not do this again. Let's get back on track. Like my guru Michelle Bendy Stitchy says, Joe Biden is not the end goal. He's not our destination. He's the bus that's going to get us part of the way. I think with the loss of Ruth Bader Ginsburg, we need to have somebody in charge with compassion, with a sense of duty to all the people that, the whole country, not just the people who vote for him, or not just the people who agree with him. Somebody who, with him and Kamala together, I think make a good balance. I think she's young enough and she's aware enough of the world outside that she hasn't been living in this kind of political bubble that so many of our elder white statesmen have been living in. I think she's a good match. I actually would not have minded a Harris-Biden ticket rather than a Biden-Harris. But it's a bus. It's a bus. It is getting us there. It is getting us close to where we need to be. Deep breath. Because I don't care what side of the aisle you're on. You like your rights, right? Everybody likes their rights. And they're rights. They're not privileges. Which means nobody should be able to decide whether you get to exercise them or not. They're just rights. Like the life, the liberty, the happiness. That stuff. Alright, I'm making less sense than usual, and I'm up to 28 minutes of recording, which means that my phone at any moment could decide that it's just going to say, nah, we're starting a new file. To heck with 17 seconds of whatever you were saying. So I am going to let you go. As always, guys, thank you so much for watching. Thank you for subscribing. Thank you for your likes, and yes, even your dislikes. And thank you for your comments. They mean the world to me, and I read every single one of them. Go register to vote. Shoot. Bye, guys.